Let's go.
Get your copy of Fire. It's definitely a must-read. If you enjoy hood books, this one is it. Just like the title of the book, it's officially Fire. Get it on Amazon, paperback or Kindle.
Peace. This is the Enemy's Public. I am Bro.Nasir. This evening, first, I hope everybody's having a good evening. I want to chime in on the election season and the candidates, primarily Kamala Harris, because I'm trying to get my people to know the difference between relating and exploiting. Well, brothers and sisters, it's the election season. We all know what happens during election season. In the event that you don't know, we have the jackass and the elephant running the same game with no intentions of doing a damn thing for our people. Shameless pandering and exploiting. One kissing black children and talking to us and about us in the position of ownership, using the possessive pronoun, my African American. The other, after being herself an Indian, decides now that she is a black woman, then in an attempt to convince us that she's one of us, exploit the most ignorant and negative stereotypes of our people. And us, in our ignorance, we get overly excited just by the mention of certain entertainers who are always on stage. The world is a stage to them. It's always lights, cameras, and action. Yet to relate to our sisters, she don't seek the stand-up intelligent sister. Kamala Harris goes to the gutter. She goes to a Cardi B, a Megan Thee Stallion. She goes to entertainers because in her mind, that's all we are. Yet we do have entertainers who are not ratchet. Yet this is the way, this is what Kamala Harris seek. Now, our sisters raised millions of dollars for Kamala Harris for her presidential campaign. Why? Why did our sisters raise millions of dollars for Kamala Harris's presidential campaign? Because they really want to see a woman holding the highest office in the land. Even if it's the wrong woman. Even if that woman serves to our detriment. Even if that woman tells us emphatically that she's not going to do a damn thing for us. Even if that woman's past proves that she's not on our side. Kamala Harris is exploiting the ignorance of silly Negroes. hot sauce, collard greens, Chuck Taylors, and singing Atomic Dog. I said it 3 years ago. I said it 3 years ago that it's the Sister Act. Now it's Sister Act 2, back in habit. Yeah, Kamala Harris, she weaseled her way in as a top candidate for the Democratic Party because we didn't fall for it the first time when she ran. We didn't fall for it. I hear the ignorant among us saying that if we don't support Kamala Harris, that we're not supporting Black women. This is said by ignorant as Black men who she had no problem putting in prison as California's state attorney. There's not a politician on the national level that I've had confidence in that I'll vote for, ever. What I want my people to know the difference between relating and exploitation. This is primarily about Kamala Harris, but I'm speaking about both sides. I wouldn't vote for Harris or Trump, neither one of them. Peace to my brother Big Dog Philly OG. Peace to my brother P. Moses. Greetings, respect to my sister Sharon Walker. Thanks for tapping in. Again, I wouldn't vote for Harris or Trump. Some of these goofy Negroes rock with Trump because he's real. That's what they say. They say he's real. They take the ignorant, ratchet BS that he do and make it synonymous to being a nigga, which is not nothing to be. Me, I dislike the cracker and the nigga. Both of them are straight up useless. Another thing that I want our people to know is the way Kamala Harris is pandering to our women in particular is how she sees them and what she think of them. Loud, ratchet, faddish, yet entertaining. That's how Kamala Harris see our sisters. Look who she choose to stand with her. They pick the people who they think influence us when we are far removed from most of the people they pick to stand and represent our people. Like a illiterate clown like Steve Harvey, who would tell us to just vote and not worry about wanting something for our votes. Just vote and expect nothing. A man with millions of dollars telling the working class, the poor, to just vote and get nothing tangible, just a damn smiling face or a song, some entertainment and symbolic gestures. That's what they tell our people. They tell our people, it's silly. You know, like Ricky Smiley said one time, you're probably going to hear it on one of the videos that I'm going to play. Peace to my good brother, Key Norfolk. Thank you for tapping in, my brother. Ricky Smiley said that Kamala Harris won him over just by singing Atomic Dog, because you know Ricky Smiley is a Q dog, a fraternity. He's a frat guy, Q dog. And all she had to do to win him over is that she knew the song Atomic Dog. See, Kamala Harris is not even good at pandering. She tried to relate to us below the belt. Nothing on top of our waistline do she attempt to relate to. The worst she picked to represent us. We have more than entertainers, but that's what some or most of these politicians see our people as. Just the entertainment. They call on us to entertain them because for some reason, some frozen of a reason, that's what they see us as. Mere entertainment. And they will entertain us back, but they will not give us anything for our votes. They tell us that they're not just our president, they're the president for everybody. Yet everybody gets something for their vote besides us. And the crazy part about it is, this is one of the first times that our people are saying to candidates, we want something for our vote. If you're not offering us anything tangible, we're not voting. And then some of these people are so damn, these candidates and these politicians are so pompous and arrogant to the point that they'll tell us, or they'll just shun a interviewer, or they'll shun someone that's questioning them about reparations, about crime bills that protect our people. Or about anything that affect us that we want to change. They say that we're crying about something, or they don't take what we say serious. That's why I suggest to my people to not vote. I'll never vote for a candidate. They exploit us, they use us, and then they ignore us once they get their office. That's what they do. And then they'll tell us, wait till the next 4 years. And then the next 4 years pass and the next 4 years pass. I've been around almost 60 years, and I've never seen a politician do a damn thing for our people, Democrat or Republican. So I don't know why some of our people try to distinguish the jackass from the elephant. I know they're two different parties, political parties, but the Republican Party and the Democratic Party are two wings of the same unclean and hateful bird, flying in the same damn direction. And they may not be bipartisan on a lot of things, but one thing that they agree with, their position when it comes to our people, they agree. And they will find somebody. They're not going to allow anyone to have that office that speak about doing anything for us. You seen what Kamala Harris said when she was asked about reparations. She started talking about jobs and fair housing. You seen what Donald Trump said when they asked him about police reform and the sister being murdered in her own damn home. He's not going to upset the police and their unions. And Kamala Harris is not going to upset anyone. She don't even know how to pander. She's not good at anything besides putting our brothers and sisters in prison. She did that. Her counterpart, the current president, co-wrote the 94 crime bill with Slick Willie Clinton. And Kamala Harris reinforced it, and she used it every chance she get to put a brother and sister in prison. She was locking up parents for truancy because their children was a truant, not going to school. She was locking them up for that. She locked the brother up she knew was innocent. I don't want to play the video because I tried to play it before and they took the video down because it's a Vice video. The brother gave his testimony. I tried to give that information a few years ago. A brother gave his testimony on how Kamala Harris knew he was innocent, but she let him go to prison anyway. A prosecutor is supposed to, prove or go after people who actually did crimes, not create crimes and mess up people's livelihood and their lives. That's what a prosecutor is supposed to do. Even if they're police officers, if they're found wrong doing what they do today all over the United States, which is victimize our people and victimize people altogether. She don't go after them like she'll go after the taxpayers that pay all of them. Kamala Harris is doing what I call the Sister Act. And our sisters are flocking to her because she's doing the Sister Act. They're falling for the Sister Act. Again, because the first time she tried it, we was like, hell no. And then Biden ended up being the president. And then he ended up picking her as the vice president. So she weaseled her way in through him. And we're falling for Sister Act Part 2, which is crazy because Kamala Harris hasn't changed. She's the same person she was when she was in California locking our people up, when she was dating Montel Williams, and she don't identify with us. How she try to identify with us is with stereotypes. And our sisters should be insulted. They should be insulted. But the ignorant among our people are not insulted. In all actuality, regardless if it's Trump or if it's Harris, how they pander and say certain things, our people should be insulted. But the ignorant among our people are bought and sold cheap. I heard Negroes say on platforms that Donald Trump gave us $1,500 a few times, $1,200 a few $100s, and that's enough to sell your virtue and your entire people out. That little bit of money, that's enough. Negroes are bought and sold cheap, real cheap. Again, when it goes down, it is going to go down because it has to. You useless eaters are going to be treated like useless eaters. Because some of these Negroes ain't worth a damn with what they stand on. Ain't worth a damn. They'll sell themselves cheap and expect you to sell yourself cheap. And they'll try to get you to sell yourself cheap. Some of these Negroes ain't worth a damn, and they couldn't say the stuff they say on these platforms in front of me. I wouldn't even respect them enough to close my hand when I slap the hell out them for saying something stupid. Donald Trump is real. And then when they ask how he's real, they say something stupid, reinforcing negative stereotypes about our brothers and our sisters. That's what make him real. Criminality. He got felonies. He's a sexual assaulter and all this other nonsense. That's what make him one of us. They couldn't say that nonsense around me. But I have videos that I'm going to play, and then I'm going to give my narrative about this witch who's running for president. I hear thunder outside. Hopefully they don't knock out my power. Now this is what they think of us right here.
Somebody call Rihanna, I was about to drop with with the stage, cause he in the wild women, put his legs on his head, I love high women. You will never catch me calling these being petty, I ain't lying, mama, just to make us happy. Lifestyle women, tank bitter, it never happened if the wasn't happened, I'm a hot girl, I do hot. Finishing come on my outfit. Don't say quit, cause I ain't thirsty. These dudes mad, they wanna hurt me. I'm a hot girl. Women put his legs on his head, and I love high women. You will never catch me calling these being petty. I ain't lying, mama, just to make us happy. Lifestyle women, tank bitter.
Now, why would somebody who's running for a office, the highest office in the land, have this as their entertainment? It's pandering to the lower self of our people. Now, we have so many acts, so many sisters who can perform. She can't even perform. We have so many acts that can perform and encourage our people. But this is who she picked because this is what she think of our sisters. This how she see you, sisters, just like this.
It never happened if the wasn't happened. I'm a hot girl. I do hot. Finishing come on my outfit. Don't say quit, cause I ain't thirsty. These dudes mad, they wanna hurt me. I'm a hot girl. I do hot.
Now, I'm going to go to the speech in Atlanta, which is more exploitation. It's just, first she had Megan Thee Stallion with the vulgar performance, and now she's going to further exploit our people. And look at Quavo, goddamn stage prop. He's a stage prop. That's all he is a damn stage prop.
Good evening, Georgia.
This is why I say entertainers should never be our influence because of this. Because they're not trying to serve to our interests. Their interest is themselves, the bag. That's their interest. Probably got paid to be there, and they don't mind being a stage prop. They don't mind.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Oh, it's good to be back in Georgia. Thank you, everyone. Can we please hear it for Tyler? I want to thank Tyler for that incredible introduction. I invited him and several other young entrepreneurs to come and visit with me at the White House. And we had a really very long and important conversation about the future of America. And Tyler, you represent the best of our future. Thank you for that. And please give it.
Wanting nearness to your enemy is not a good thing, because you are getting close enough for them to strike. So all these Negroes wanting nearness to our open and consistent enemy, because they've been consistent. Now this is deception, and our sisters don't mind. They just want to see a woman have that office. They don't care that she's wicked and evil and don't have our best interests at heart. They don't really care about that.
It up for Quavo.
Greetings to my sister, Black Panther Jackie Brown. Thanks for tapping in.
And Megan. So it is so good to see everyone. And let me also thank our incredible members of Congress who are with us this evening. Senator John Ossoff, Senator Raphael Warnock, and Representative Nikema Williams. To Mayor Andre Dickens, thank you for welcoming me back to Atlanta. And thank you to the great Stacey Abrams for your extraordinary leadership. So Georgia, it is so good to be back. And I am very clear. The path to the White House runs right through this state. And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. So let's get right down. So I'm gonna get into some business now. Okay, I'm gonna get into some business now. All right. So Georgia, as many of you know, before, and have a seat if you have a chair. As many of you know, before I was elected vice president and before I was elected a United States senator, I was an elected attorney general and an elected district attorney. And before that,
and during that time, she was locking up the brothers and sisters wholesale for minor offenses, locking them up. And she had the audacity to give that history, counting on some of these ignorant Negroes who support her, counting on them not knowing. And some of these Negroes are supporting her knowing that. And that's what you call ignorance. That's ignorance.
I was a courtroom prosecutor. So in those roles, I took on perpetrators of all kinds.
Yeah, she took on you all, the perpetrators. You know, back then, Bill Clinton, Joe Biden referred to our people as perpetrators and super predators. And she locked up who they considered as perpetrators and super predators. And they cheering this, dumb ass Negroes.
Predators who abuse women. fraudsters who ripped off consumers, cheaters who broke the rules for their own gain. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type.
You should know Donald Trump's type because you're the same kind of person. You should know.
I know the type. And I have been dealing with people like him my entire career. For example, as Attorney General
Peace
of
to my brother
California,
Anthony
I
Lowe.
took
Thanks for
on
tapping
one of
in.
our country's largest for-profit colleges that was scamming students. Well, Donald Trump ran a for-profit college that scammed students.
Yet he was not prosecuted for that. He wasn't prosecuted for that.
As a prosecutor, I specialized in child sexual abuse cases and sexual abuse
More like a prostitute, not a prosecutor.
cases. Well, Trump was found liable for committing sexual abuse.
Yet he's running for president of the United States.
And as an attorney general, I held the big Wall Street banks accountable for fraud. Donald Trump was just found guilty of fraud. 34 counts. So in this campaign,
That really means nothing if they're going to allow him, after being convicted of 34 counts. It means nothing if they're still going to allow him to run for president. Now, she's constantly talking about what Donald Trump has done, but she's not talking about what she's done when she held those offices in California. She's not talking about that. Now, Donald Trump was convicted for 34 counts of fraud. Donald Trump been a fraud for a long time. And he has several failed businesses. Donald Trump, when those young brothers were convicted of sexual assault of the Central Park jogger, the Central Park jogger in New York, the young brothers who was tied to the railroad and spent a lot of years in prison, Donald Trump took out ads in magazines and newspapers calling for these young brothers' death. Yet she's the same type of person. They would have worked well together if they was in the same state, because if she was in New York back then, she would have been doing the same thing that she was doing in California, is putting our brothers and sisters in prison. So it's like you got the mumps or the measles. That's what you're choosing. If you're choosing between those two, you're choosing the mumps or the damn measles.
so in this campaign, I will proudly put my record against his any day of the week. Any day of the week. Including, for example, on the issue of immigration. So I was the Attorney General of a border state. In that job, I walked underground tunnels between the United States and Mexico on that border with law enforcement officers. I went after transnational gangs, drug cartels, and human traffickers that came into our country illegally. I prosecuted them in case after case, and I won. Donald Trump.
You know, they're the same type of people. You know, people say, well, Donald Trump keep it real. You know, he tells the truth sometimes. She's telling the truth sometimes. You know, They'll tell the truth about someone else, but will lie when it comes to themselves. That's what both of them do. A lot of them say what Donald Trump say about her is true. What she say about Donald Trump is true, but they won't tell the truth about themselves. She's talking about all the other crimes and criminals that she prosecuted successfully and imprisoned, but she's not talking about what she did to innocent Black men and women.
Donald Trump, on the other hand, has been talking a big game about securing our border, but he does not walk the walk. Or as my friend Quavo would say, he does not walk it like he talks it.
She don't even pander. She don't even know how to pander because it's obvious that she's doing it. And this is pandering to the young people because these women that's sitting behind her, most of them don't know who the hell Quavo is.
So look, our administration worked on the most significant border security bill in decades. Some of the most conservative Republicans in Washington, D.C. supported the bill.
Greetings.
Even the Border
Respect
Patrol
to my sister,
endorsed
the true
it.
daughter of darkness.
It was all set to pass.
Thank you for tapping in.
But at the last minute, Trump directed his allies in the Senate to vote it down. Right. He tanked the bipartisan deal because he thought it would help him win an election. Which goes to show Donald Trump does not care about border security. He only cares about himself. And when I am president, I will work to actually solve the problem.
I'm going to say it like this. If our people don't get our affairs in order and do what we're supposed to do, organize and strategize as a people, we are in dire trouble no matter which one of them win. Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. It's like cancer or fucking hepatitis. You're still sick.
So here is my pledge to you. As president, I will bring back the border security bill that Donald Trump killed, and I will sign it into law.
And she would probably bring back stop and frisk. She'd probably bring that back also nationwide. She'd probably bring that back. And just know that she's not going to do a damn thing for our people.
And show Donald Trump what real leadership looks like. But make no mistake, this campaign is not just about us versus Donald Trump. Truly, this campaign is about two very different visions for our nation. One focused on the future, the other focused on the past. We believe in a future where every person has the opportunity to build a business, to own a home, to build intergenerational wealth, a future with affordable health care, affordable child care, paid leave.
That's a template that's the straight template of a politician to name all these things. That's coming from a template. So she's not saying anything different. She's just going by the template. It's like cut and paste tracing. That's all she's doing.
And all of this is to say, building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency.
Peace.
We here
Greetings to BB Bake Shop. Thanks for tapping in.
Our middle class is strong. America is strong. And to keep our middle class strong, families need relief from the high cost of living so that they have a chance not just to get by, but to get ahead. And yes, it is true that by many indicators, our economy is the strongest in the world. But while inflation is down and wages are up, prices are still too high. You know it and I know it. And when we win this election, here's what we're going to do about it. On day one, I will take on price gouging and bring down costs.
Salute to my good brother, Relentless. Thanks for tapping in.
We will ban more of those hidden fees and surprise late charges that banks and other companies use to pad their profits. We will take on corporate landlords and cap unfair rent increases. And we will take on Big Pharma to cap prescription drug costs for all Americans. Our plan will lower costs and save many middle-class families thousands of dollars a year. But Donald Trump has a different plan in mind, one that would raise prices on middle-class families. Just look at his Project 2025 agenda.
And here we go with the fear-mongering. This is the fear-mongering. People, you know, the Democratic shills and all the Democrats was talking about Project 2025 when everything in Project 2025, if they implement it, it would be re-implemented. It's nothing different in it. I didn't read it all, but Project 2025 is just a fear-mongering boogeyman tactic of the Democrats. Yet, Project 2025 is not a Republican thing, or I'm going to say it like this. It's a bipartisan plan because either one of them would implement Project 2025.
I take it you've seen it. Project 2025 is a plan to weaken the middle class. Be clear. And Donald Trump intends to cut Social Security and Medicare. He intends to give tax breaks to billionaires and big corporations. He intends to gut our investments in clean energy jobs. He intends to end the Affordable Care Act, to take us back to a time when insurance companies had the power to deny people with pre-existing conditions. You guys remember what that was? Children with asthma, breast cancer survivors, grandparents with diabetes. Georgia, America has tried these failed policies before, and we are not going back. We're not going back. We're not going back.
I'm telling you, all these supporters of Kamala Harris, whether you support Kamala Harris or whether you support Donald Trump, the laws and bills they're going to implement it's going to be more of the same laws and bills that were already implemented. This is merely, it's always, see, a lot of these politicians, they learn how to act. They get their acting chops up when they start campaigning. They learn how to pander. They learn how to exploit. See, the entertainers that's exploitation. Because to mention a entertainer in front of a bunch of young people, it gets them overly excited. She don't know who Quavo is. She don't know who Megan Thee Stallion is. And not only that, look who she chooses to stand with her. Those two. We have artists far more intelligent than those two. But that's who she chose to stand with her when she do a rally, a campaign for president of the United States.
That's right. And we are not going back because ours is a fight for the future. And it is a fight for freedom. Across our nation, we are witnessing a full-on assault on hard-fought, hard-won freedoms and rights. The freedom to vote, the freedom to be safe from gun violence, the freedom to live without fear of bigotry and hate.
Where do you stand on the police going in people's homes and murdering them? Where do you stand on the police turning a traffic stop into a deadly encounter? Where do you stand on our sisters being aggressed and beat up at beauty salons and beauty supply stores and nail salons by people who got a bill passed to protect them? That's what she did. She helped to pass a hate crime for Asians because that's her lineage. A lot of our people don't know how to distinguish what type of Indian she is. She's not of our tribes here in America. She's a Far East Indian from India. So we need to learn how to distinguish her from us. She's not one of us. She's not FBA, and she's not an American Indian. Neither one.
The freedom to love who you love openly and with pride. The freedom to learn and acknowledge our true and full history. And the freedom of a woman to make decisions about her own body and not have her government tell.
That's a template. That's a part of the template, knowing what to say, but won't implement anything. A lot of these sisters is going to regret falling for the sister act. I'm telling you, because she's not your sister. I don't care. She looks like a light-skinned black woman. She's not your sister.
Her what to do. Ours is a fight for the future and for freedom. And I don't have to tell folks in Atlanta that generations of Americans before us.
Even the fact that she's in Atlanta speaking to a predominantly black audience, that's pandering. Because prior to that, prior to her running for president, she had nothing to say to our people. And this is stupidity on our people's part by even coming. This should be empty. The only one should be standing in this audience is the white man to her right. That's it. It should be empty other than that, because that's who she do things for. her own people. She's married to one of them.
Led the fight for freedom. And now the baton is in our hands. Each and every one of us. And we love our country. We love our country. And I believe it is the highest form of patriotism to fight for the ideals of our country.
I feel like the Star Spangled Banner should be in the background while she's saying this.
We who believe in the sacred freedom to vote will finally pass the Freedom to Vote Act and the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act. We who believe in the freedom to live safe from gun violence will finally pass universal background checks.
What about universal background checks on who they're hiring as police officers? What about gun violence of the police against the United States citizens? What about that?
Red flag laws and an assault weapons ban. We who believe in reproductive freedom will stop Donald Trump's extreme abortion bans, and when Congress passes a law to restore reproductive freedoms, as President of the United States, I will sign it into law. So November 5th is in 98 days. So in 98 days, and let's level set, friends, let's level set. We have a fight in front of us. We have a fight in front of us, and we are the underdogs in this race. We are. But you see, this is a people-powered campaign. Ours is a people-powered campaign. In fact, after I announced my candidacy, we saw the best week of grassroots fundraising in presidential campaign history. And if you go to KamalaHarris.com, you can help us build on that success. So the momentum in this race is shifting. And there are signs that Donald Trump is feeling it. You may have noticed.
You know, we always be the tipping point of elections. Yet once they get that office, they do nothing for us and they ignore us. When Joe Biden first became president, the Congressional Black Caucus, he had a meeting with them. And he told them straight up, he's not going to do anything for our people, and we're going to have to deal with the immigrants that he allows to come into the United States. So we're going to have to work with them. This is what he said after we helped to get him elected. See, we have to fall for the okie doke every single election. We don't know how to just stay home and let them feel what it's like for us to stay home during election day. None of us go to the polls, or we go in such low numbers that it's like they're begging us, please. We give our votes away when people tell us outright that they're going to do nothing for us. We still give our votes away, which is ignorant.
So last week, you may have seen, he pulled out of the debate in September he had previously agreed to. So here's the thing.
OTK, my brother, peace. Thanks for tapping in.
thing about that. So he won't debate, but he and his running mate sure seem to have a lot to say about me. And by the way, don't you find some of their stuff to just be plain weird?
The weirdest thing I see, in all actuality, is our people supporting Kamala Harris. This is weird because when she first ran for president, our people was like, no, she's not one of us. And we went and we checked her history and her background. We seen what she was about and what she's done in our people. And we was like, hell no, she had to drop out the race, but she wiggled her way back into the race as the top candidate through Biden as the vice president. And our people is falling for the Sister Act 2 back in habit. My brother King Genocide, thanks for tapping in.
Well, Donald, I do hope you'll reconsider to meet me on the debate stage. Because as the saying goes, if you got something to say,
she know the lingo. She know the lingo, you know, the sister girl lingo. She probably studied, she probably watched the Parkers and watched Martin and study our people. She know the lingo. She know what to say. And our people eat that up with her pandering. That's all she's doing is pandering. Salute my brother, Equator 7. Thanks for tapping in. You know, when people who's not one of us, who's trying to fit in, they always feel like they have to, in order to fit in with us and relate to us, they always feel like they gotta be that ratchet, ghetto, you know, brother or sister, which is not primarily how our people are. But they feel like they have to relate to us in that manner. You know, hip hop, ratchetness, you know, snapping their fingers, rolling their eyes in their damn neck, that type of shit. They always feel like they have to relate to us stereotypically.
Thank you. So, Georgia, in the next 98 days, we have our work cut out for us. And this is not going to be easy. This is hard work, but we like hard work. Hard work is good work. So, Georgia, today I ask you, are you ready to get to work? Do we believe in freedom? Do we believe in opportunity? Do we believe in the promise of America? And are we ready?
Now we're going to go to an interview where she's asked, do she support reparations for our people? And listen to what she's saying. Listen to how she answered the question.
Do you support reparations for Black people?
Well, listen, again, we had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century.
She can't even get her.
Do you support reparations for Black people?
She can't even get her numbers correct. She said in one interview, 20 acres and a mule. She can't even get her facts straight. She don't even know history. She don't even know American history. Don't even know. though some of it's fabricated and indoctrination, she still don't know that. She don't even know the indoctrination and the false history of education that America has to offer. As someone who is college educated and the vice president of the United States, she don't even take the time to study to get her facts straight. This is shameful.
Well, listen, again, we had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination, segregation, and now we have segregation and discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a big.
What about other crimes of humanity? All the reasons and everything that she just mentioned is the reason to give us reparation, meaning to repair the damage that was done to our people. That's what reparations is. Whether you do it financially or not, but we want the money financially because we were deprived of opportunities to have generational wealth and to flourish as a people. We were denied that opportunity, and the crimes of humanity is another reason why we deserve reparations. Again, it's to repair the damage that they've done to our people.
The barrier to progress. We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around education. We have disparities around income. And we have to recognize that everybody did not start out on an equal footing in this country. And in particular, Black people have not. And so we have got to recognize.
And that's what the sister asked you, particularly our people. She's not talking about everybody else. She was very particular of who she asked, did you support reparations for? Our people. Tiptoeing through the tulips.
That and do something about that and give folks a lift up. That's why, for example, I'm proposing the LIFT Act. Give people who are making $100,000 or less as a family a tax credit, which will benefit and uplift 60% of Black families who are in poverty.
So by default, it affects Black families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans that you would explore.
But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies.
Exactly, Voodoo Child. They think that we are dumb and easily manipulated. They don't support, they don't relate, they exploit because that's how they see us. Who she stand with or who she allowed to be around her like a Quavo or a Megan Thee Stallion, that's how she see us. That's how she see our sisters in particular. To have her to open up as an act, she see our sisters like that.
When you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit Black children, Black families, Black homeowners, because the disparities are so significant. So if we focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparities.
She is going around the world in ay. This is a yes or no question. Do you support reparations for Black Americans? Yes or no?
And we understand that that's part of why we're doing it. Listen, the reality also is this. Any policy that will benefit Black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people. No, because whatever benefits.
If it only happened to our people, it only is supposed to be given to us. This lets us know that she's not going to give us anything tangible, nothing. And all we've ever gotten from this government are symbolic gestures, a day off for this and a day off for that, something symbolic, nothing that we can actually put our hands on.
It's that Black family will benefit that community and society as a whole in the country, right?
Now we're going to go to the clown, the comedian, always clowning. Even when they're trying to be serious, they still look like clowns.
Hey, it's Kamala. Hi.
Hey, Senator Harris, how you doing?
Very well. How you doing?
All right, this comedian.
Even when they call themselves serious, they're still clowns to me. A clown gonna always be a
Ricky
clown.
Smiley. Welcome to the Ricky Smiley Morning Show.
A clown's gonna always be a clown, even when they're trying to be serious. They're always clowns to me.
Thank you. It's so good to be with you.
Glad to have you. Ladies and gentlemen, she is currently running for Vice President of the United States in one of the most controversial elections in history. Please welcome Senator Kamala Harris.
Now, this is the first time that she was running when she had to drop out. This is the first time she had to drop out. And listen to how she gained the confidence and won the vote of Ricky Smiley.
Thank you. It's great to be on the Ricky Smiley Morning Show.
Glad to have you. Welcome to the room of the Omegas, member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated.
Well, I congratulate all of my Q Psi Phi brothers for the leadership that you provide everywhere and across the nation and across the world. So greetings.
Absolutely. A beautiful Sarah, member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Thank you so much for calling us this morning. And we know that you're in the middle of a confirmation hearing, Amy Coney Barrett, but I'm gonna skip that question because we already know they're gonna confirm her. Let's get down to the meat. Okay. All right, early voting is breaking records in some states already, and now people are talking about possible voter suppression, like in California with the unofficial ballot boxes that Republicans have put out, around the state. How can we ensure that our votes are counted?
Well, first of all, it's critical that everybody vote early. And so vote by mail, if you can vote by mail in your state and get that in. Drop off your ballot at a drop box if you're in a state that has drop boxes. And if you must vote in person, vote early. And you can go to iwillvote.com to find out and make sure that you're registered and to find out the polling place that is closest to you, but also find out about instructions on how you can vote by mail. But again, Ricky, I'm just encouraging everybody to vote early because we want to make sure everybody has a plan to vote. Let's not leave it to the last minute.
Right.
Put it on your calendar and just make it happen.
Right.
But I've been getting photographs and text messages from friends all over the country. In particular, in the last day, I've been getting a lot from folks in Texas and Georgia who are standing in those lines. They've been showing me pictures of the lines, but people are in a good mood. They're visiting with each other in line.
Right.
And it's so worth it. It's so important.
It is important. And, your road to this moment has taken you places most will never understand. Being a woman, being Black, and a prosecutor, what challenges have you faced that you feel will help you govern?
Yeah, well, look, there is so much at stake, Ricky. And, even when you were talking about the Supreme Court, one of the biggest things that is at play in this election in terms of who wins is going to be access to health care.
Absolutely.
Access to health care. This coronavirus has killed over 210 million people. And we are looking at over 7 million cases, almost 8 million cases of people who have contracted the virus. And the people who are most vulnerable to it are folks with pre-existing conditions. We know Black folks have 20% more likely to have asthma, 40% more likely to have high blood pressure. Black women 3 times more likely.
Now, she's sitting up here as a damn Indian talking about our conditions. And this is only most of our people don't eat like we used to eat. The fat back, the pig feet and all that. A lot of us do, but most of our people don't eat like that now. What she's doing is using a stereotypical diet that our people had. Yet now today, she's talking about collard greens and washing them in a damn tub, which is nasty as hell. Who gonna eat anything that came out of damn tub? But this is 3 years ago. It's 3 years ago.
We have lupus than white women. We have so much at stake when it comes to access to health care. President Obama and Vice President Biden passed the Affordable Care Act, called Obamacare. And these Republicans have been so obsessed with trying to get rid of whatever Barack Obama created that they're in court right now trying to get rid of the Affordable.
Salute to my brother Key Norfolk. Thank you for tapping in, my brother. Thank you for joining me. Do a mic check.
Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2.
Loud and clear, brother. If you want to tap in right now, you can do so. If you need me to stop the video, let me know, and I'll stop it. But if you have anything you want to add right now, you can do so right now.
Oh yeah, big bro. Salute. Appreciate you for having me, man. Very important work you doing. I'm with you in the fight. We have to make our people aware of the how can I say this nicely? The tricks that's going on, that's happening right now. You know, I wanted to call it effery, but you know, for lack of better words, they're trying to dupe the people. She's pulling off a sister act. Her first sister act was helping to get Joe, helping you get on Joe team. Yep. You see what I'm saying? To get him in here. Now exactly. the sister act 2 is her getting herself in the door, because that's what this was based upon in the first place. You know what I mean? This is a no-brainer if we can't see that. And you know, not to negate the fact that she cosplayed herself to be a sister.
Yep.
And it's baffling. And then now they're up there talking about so-called black people's issues. So you're up here talking about lupus and all these types of things and high blood pressure, when first of all, you are not us. And the only medical concerns you've shown you've had for our people was the damn eugenics program with Planned Parenthood.
Yes, sir.
It's disgusting and it's sickening, man. And we got this shit got to be stopped. Salute to you, big bro. I appreciate you for having me, and man, I'll let you get back to your thing. I appreciate you. Salute.
And I don't see how our sisters are not, in particular our sisters, because that's who she's trying to portray. I don't see how they're not insulted by this. A lot of our sisters are insulted, but enough or not, because sisters raised millions of dollars for her towards her campaign. And to me, that's sickening after what she's done and after what she let us know emphatically that she will not do for our people. You know, it's sickening to me.
I'm with you, bro.
Affordable Care Act. On the other hand, Joe Biden is saying we'll keep it and we'll expand it because it brought access to health care for over 20 million people.
Right.
And so this is one of the things that's at stake right now.
Right. And you know, being a graduate of Howard and a member of the Divine Nine, what plan does the Biden-Harris administration have to assist the Black community and help HBCUs continue to thrive? And I went to Alabama State, by the way.
Now, when you mention HBCUs, what you're mentioning is a certain class of our people, in particular the Boule class of our people. Mostly, everybody that go to a HBCU is not Boule, but Ricky Smiley is, and he's not talking about helping all of our people, because he was real specific. HBCUs, that's who he wants to help, and that's who. Like when we hear Steve Harvey interviewing her, and we see Ricky Smiley and all these other people interviewing her, it's like a man who has money trying to tell us, don't worry about it. You don't have our problems. And not only that, this Negro and others like him feel that they have risen above the condition of our people. So that's why he can say something like this. His condition is not ours. Because he's a millionaire. He's a millionaire.
That's
Steve
facts.
Harvey's a millionaire, and others are millionaires. So when they tell us don't worry about this, like when Steve Harvey was interviewing Kamala Harris, don't just go out and vote anyway. Don't worry about reparations. Couldn't say nothing like that in front of me, bro. I'm serious. Couldn't say like that. I could not say nothing like that in front of me.
I went to Howard University.
Oh, we know.
You know, those of us who go to Howard are very proud.
I know, right? Y'all are everywhere. You, Taraji, Anthony Anderson. You know, Anthony Anderson just pledged Q, so
I didn't.
he did.
Oh, I didn't know that. Good for him.
So Anthony,
yes, but he is also a proud bison.
Right, right. So Anthony Anderson, D.L. Hughley, same line. They line brothers, and George Clinton. So so we doing.
How about that?
So
how about that? You know who else is Attorney Ben Crump?
Absolutely. That's my friend. See,
all the Boule class, ambulance chasers, comedians, politicians, all the Boule class.
Look, I love this interview because I feel like we're from the same place. It's something about that divine nine, you know.
You know, so here's the thing. So Ricky, you know, I when I gave my acceptance speech to be on the ticket after Joe asked me to run with him, I gave my acceptance speech and I said, you know, and family is very important to me and the way I define family. And I went on the different ways of who is my family. And I said, and my divine nine, brothers and sisters. But wait, and all these reporters were looking at each other, you know, the ones who normally cover, you know, the White House, looking at each other. And they were like, what is that? And I was like, you're about to find out.
I was waiting. And so that debate, which I thought was awesome. What was going through your head when you saw the fly?
You know, I have to tell you, I did see the fly. I did see it. And I just assumed it would fly away because it was a fly. You know, I didn't want to embarrass the man, right, and make a deal out of it on the stage because there was too much to talk about, like the fact that they're trying to get rid of people's health care.
Right.
But it.
You know why that fly was constantly flying around, right? The fly was constantly flying around those politicians, because you know what attract flies, right?
They was talking all that crap.
You can see it, brother. All that shit.
All that shit they was talking, you know.
Exactly. That's why the fly was hanging around, because you know that's why they was flocking.
But it certainly was. I guess it turned out to be something that people talked about. But you know, there was so much at stake. I mean, seriously, they're rolling back the clock on all of these rights. You know, I talked about the fact that you know, Donald Trump was on the debate stage and wouldn't condemn a white supremacist.
Yeah,
right.
That's scary.
I mean, had double down on it by saying, you know, stand back and stand by.
I see it like this: Donald Trump is a outward, overt racist. When someone do something overtly, you can defend yourself because you can see it coming. You have to watch the backstabbers that act like they're your friend, and when you turn around, they stab you in the back. Those are the ones you got to watch. So calling Donald Trump because Donald Trump said how he felt, I like that better than telling me that you're my friend and you're not. I'd rather somebody tell me that they don't like me than to pretend they don't like me. I appreciate the truth. Again, Donald Trump will tell the truth about somebody else, and he will say how he feels. but he lies when it comes to the things he do. And so does this person talking to Ricky Smiley.
And that was on the heels of what he did around Charlottesville, which is to refuse to condemn neo-Nazis who were, spewing racial slurs and anti-Semitic slurs, and and this is actually Joe Biden was so outraged by Donald Trump saying fine people on both sides. That's what got Joe in the race, to stand up and fight for the fact that you can't have a president of the United States.
Joe Biden called us niggas too. Don't let me pull up some of his shit that he said. Joe Biden called us niggas too. And Joe Biden, again, just because somebody not saying nigga or yelling nigga, it don't mean they're not a so-called white supremacist, because he co-wrote a law that co-wrote a bill that became a law to massively incarcerate our people. Now that is white supremacy. That's racism.
Yes, sir.
And then he wrote a slave code of law that put people in jail longer for crack than cocaine. And that's based on status, and it's based on proximity. A brother got caught with the same amount of crack as somebody else got caught with the same amount of cocaine. The brother do more time for the crack than the cocaine. That's racism too. And it was done by proximity, and he co-wrote that law. Joe Biden.
Condoning or saying that white supremacists are equal to peaceful protesters.
Right. Do you think that outrage moderate Republicans and conservative Democrats, and just like people that just kind of do you think that okay, we got to get this guy out of office because we're going to put the principles of the country before party?
I do believe that. I really do. I believe that look, we all know that our country is without any question a work in progress. We hold dear.
How the hell you a work in progress since the 1700s, Key?
That's that is ironic, man. First, can I you mind if I appreciate Joe Biden for what he gave black people? He gave us something. Thanks, Joe Biden, for clean crack pipes and safe places to smoke the crack at. Show me what you think about it, nigga. Especially when Big Bro just said that the way you put away the people who selling the crack, then you turn around and give us clean crack pipes and safe places to smoke the crack at. So thank you, Joe Biden, for that. And man, you know what?
You're telling me Joe Biden is the real Neil Brown that had the Carter?
Man, he's the real one, man. You hit it right on the head, bro. He that's what he did, man. He gave us clean crack. That's the only thing that I saw that was given. As far as what this side of the campaign has been promising. They've been duping us on the, not to change the topic, but they've been duping us on the student loan thing. That's all we've been really looking for and trying to get out of them. You see what I'm saying? They playing this Semitic game. They trying to get the people who trying to get their credit right to go with old man and a fake black girl. But then they turn around and with Donald Trump, you got these dudes that, and man, I tell you something. I'm ashamed to see what some of you brothers will do for $1,200, man. I don't even want to know.
Yeah, for real.
I don't even want to know.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know either, brother. But they say they rock with him because he's real.
He's real fake.
And he's real because Donald Trump, he's an actor also. And they all perfect their acting chops when they're on the campaign. They all keep it real. REEL for the damn camera. Lights, cameras, action. It's all performative, brother. All of it.
The ideals on that Supreme Court that say equal justice under law, but we know we have not yet achieved that ideal, but we fight for it, right? And I think that people, regardless of if they're a conservative Democrat or a moderate Republican or anybody else, they want to believe that their president conducts themselves with dignity and with grace and with some acknowledgement of the seriousness of the position to elevate the people and to speak to, our better angels. And we've not seen that in Donald Trump. We've seen someone who has been absolutely, from my perspective, incompetent. At that debate, I said that we have witnessed the greatest failure of.
Now, you want to see incompetent? If she wins, we are going to see sheer emotional incompetence. I am certain of this, and I can guarantee it, because she's not good. She probably was good at putting us in prison because that's her expertise. I'm not saying this because she's a woman. See, I say this to our sisters. Just because she's a woman, that doesn't mean that you should give your support to her. She's the wrong woman. That's all I'm saying. And she panders and she exploits, all because she can pass as one of us, because she don't look like an Indian. She don't. But she's one. She's a Far East Indian from India. But she don't look like it. And that's because of she probably more than likely have her father's features. That's it. And sometimes people have children for that reason, to anchor them. She's an anchor baby. That's what Kamala Harris is, an anchor baby, someone who can pass as one of us.
A presidential administration in the history of our country. It has been the greatest failure of a presidential administration.
Peace, greetings, respect to my sister, Goddess, dear of love. Thanks for tapping in.
And you can't deny it when we're looking at over 215,000 people who have just died in the last several months, but the man still refuses to take seriously the coronavirus and tell people to wear a mask.
Well, thank you so much.
I am not a supporter of Trump. Yet it's something that Trump was trying to tell us that we should take, that they're now telling us they'll take. It's the ivermectin. He's been saying take that for a long time. But they clown him for saying it. But now they telling us that we should take it.
For your time. We know you're running. We are so happy to have you on the show. Real quick for free. So Saturday night, you at home, you put in your CD. Are you choosing Atomic Dog or Set It Off?
Atomic Dog.
Hey! Are you
Atomic
Dog. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wow. You feel.
Thank you so much for this interview. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all give it up for Senator and future Vice President of the United States of America, Kamala Harris, y'all.
Bye-bye. I'm Joe Biden, candidate for president, and I approve this message. Paid for by Biden for president.
This is George Grace, 37th Grand Boss of Omega South Africa Incorporated. I want to give Senator Harris a shout.
And that's what got his vote. The fact that she knows who George Clinton is, and she knows Atomic Dog.
And she just gave us one, and I want to let her know she's a credit to the African American community and most so Black women. I'm so proud of what she's doing and how she's handled it. And we can't change anything in this country until
we claim anybody, brother. I swear we do. We claim anybody. Now we're going to take a look back at Kamala Harris from 2001.
Vice President-elect Kamala Harris celebrated the historic moment with her family. Stepkids Cole and Ella and her niece Mina.
Good evening.
She wore a white Carolina Herrera pantsuit with a pussy bow. The vice president-elect's husband, Doug Emhoff, is also making history as America's first second gentleman.
Here he is, a high-powered attorney who is setting aside his career for the ambitions of his wife.
The 56-year-old entertainment lawyer is very protective. When a protester grabbed the mic from his wife at a campaign event last year, he leapt on stage to help subdue him. Look at him take back that mic. Long before she met Doug Emhoff, she dated some prominent men, including in 2001, former talk show host Montel Williams. Back then, he was the famous one and had to introduce her to the paparazzi. Now the whole world knows who she is.
Now, if you look at her name, Harris, that's not her father's name. That's not her mother's name. That's not her husband's name. That means that she paid to get that name. This is why I say emphatically that she's an anchor. She was anchored in. That's why I say that. She was anchored. Now we're going to go to Donald Trump claims he didn't know Kamala was black. Peace to my brother, Voodoo Child. Thanks for tapping in. Always good to see you, brother. Do a mic check.
Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a black woman?
Well, I can say no. I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much. And she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She has always
But you know
identified
what?
as a black woman.
I
She went to a
respect either
historically black
one.
college.
Here is the sister on stage cosplaying, saying she always identified as black, and that's not true. That is not the truth. They want to claim her and have her as one of us so bad that they will lie about.
Test 1 2 1 2.
Salute, my brother. Thank you for joining me. I hear you loud and clear. You want to tap in, do so. If you want to tap in, you can do so. If not, this video has got another 10 seconds of this video.
Respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a black person.
Just to be clear, sir, do
And
you
I
believe
think,
that
I think
she is
somebody should look into that too when you ask continue in a very hostile, nasty tone.
Yeah. She did attempt to do the Sister Act. She tried it on the first election. We didn't fall for it. You know, Cory Booker did you know, his brother act, and we didn't fall for it, so he wasn't a nominee. And Kamala tried it, and we didn't go for it. And Joe Biden picked her so she can get some wiggle room, and that she used her wiggle room this election, and now she's the nominee for the Democratic Party. Now, I'm going to conclude this stream. I just wanted to present the information, and that's it, to inform our sisters who support Kamala Harris. I want our sisters to know the difference between relating and exploiting. She's exploiting the negative stereotypes of our sisters, and it's not our the way our sisters behave. But if she could get the ratchetness to stand near her in the form of a Megan Thee Stallion, that is how she see our sisters, and that's what she think of our sisters. America politics we should not be interested in because it never benefited us. I'm trying to tell our people that we should not indulge in America's politics. Somebody come to us asking for their support for office. Don't tell them no thank you. Tell them no. Because as of yet, we haven't gotten anything tangible from a politician, especially on a national level. I want to say this also. If you look at a local politicians are accessible. You can go to City Hall, City Council meeting. They're accessible. The higher up a politician climbs up the ladder as a politician, the further and further away they from the people and far removed they are from the people, and they become less accessible. We need to understand that these people are not accessible to us. We can't step to them. Why? They do so much dirt. They got to have men with guns around them. That's how crooked and wicked they are. They got to have protection in the event that somebody want to do something to them. That's not what I suggest, but that's the reality. That's the reality. Do you think somebody will want to harm a president if he was an honorable person that looked out for everybody? Hell no. Hell no. People want to do something to them because they're wicked. All of them. The jackass or the elephant. The Democrats or the Republicans. All of them. Wicked, corrupt to the core. Before I go, I want to thank for joining me this evening. Voodoo Child, thank you for joining me, brother. Thanks to my sister, Goddess D of Love, for joining me. Thank my brother, Key Norfolk, for tapping in and joining me on the panel. I appreciate it. Also want to thank my sister, Sharon Walker. Thanks for tapping in. Thank you for Karma Coming. I'm just going to leave it there. Karma Coming. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Thanks to my brother Equator 7 for joining me, my brother King Genocide, my brother Big Dog Philly OG, my brother Relentless, my brother Anthony Lowe, my sister, the True Daughter of Darkness, my sister Black Panther Jackie Brown. Thank you for joining me this evening. I appreciate it. But, you know, just know the difference, sisters. Thank Joe State for joining me also. Just know the difference when somebody's trying to play us and play you in particular, sisters. When they start pandering, when they start exploiting our sisters, thinking they're relating to them. I don't like that. Thank you to my brother P. Moses. Thank you all for joining me this evening. I'm your brother Nasir, and this is The Enemy's Public. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section. Before I go, I'm gonna do a little promo. Stick around for a second, listen to the promo. August 8th, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on The Enemy's Public, the premiere of the network's new music video. We heard the song. We all love the song. We have the video. We're going to premiere on The Enemy's Public, 8 o'clock, August 8th. Be there. And if you haven't purchased my wife's book, Fire, here's the promo.
Get your copy of Fire. It's definitely a must read. If you enjoy hood books, this one is it. Just like the title of the book, it's officially Fire. Get it on Amazon, paperback or Kindle.
The once goal-driven, ambitious athlete
Here's a narrative
turns to the
of-
street life after the sudden death of her big brother Dre. Dre's best friend Devontae tries to honor his homeboy's last request of looking out for his baby sister. A rebellious Sapphire makes it very difficult for Devontae to carry out his promise.
Coming soon, Fire 2, the finale, coming this fall. In order to understand what's going on Fire 2, the finale, you have to get Fire 1. Go to Amazon, to books, put in FYRE in Angela King James, and purchase the book Fire. But Fire 2, the finale, coming soon. Also, The Enemy's Public presents. I have another channel called Vocal Dynamics. We're going to go over the lyrics. We're going to go over the tones, the pitch of the vocalist. And here's the promo for my new channel, Vocal Dynamics. I'm your brother Nasir. This is The Enemy's Public. Like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section. Thank you for joining me. Peace.